Turn up, let's go.
What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm going to be reacting to Game Theory: The End of Princess Peach (brackets New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Peachette / Bowsette) by the Game Theorist. Now, I didn't really expect Matt to make a video with Bowsette, so I guess we're in for a treat. But anyway, hopefully this will be interesting. I'm not really sure what he means the end of Princess Peach. You tell me they're not going to bring back Princess Peach in any other video game. I don't know. I highly doubt it. But hey, maybe Matt's right. We're going to find out here. Anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the description. Without any further ado, let's begin.
The recent Nintendo Direct introduced the world to the Super Crown, a power-up which apparently changes the character who nabs it into a peachified version of themselves. They showed its effects on Toadette, and that's all it took for the internet's imaginations to go wild. But while everyone else was busy searching for Bowsette content...
Oh, I wonder what website Matt's on.
on less brand safe sites, did anyone actually stop to consider what happened?
Oh, this is gonna be a very interesting episode.
Happens when toads other than Toadette touch this thing, like, say, yellow toad.
Yahoo!
And what's the other main color of toad? Oh yeah, blue.
Woo!
Did that just blow your mind? Wait, never mind, you're still busy looking at Bowsette.
How dare you think that's what I'm doing? Also, what's going on here with the intro? Is it glitched or my freaking... I don't like this. What's going on here?
What's the other main color?
I don't like that. What the frick? It just stopped working. I'm gonna skip... Look, there's a lot of weird... Look at this. You can see on the screen here at the bottom. I don't like this. I don't like this, Matt. What are you pulling? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna just skip past it. What the frig kind of intro is this? Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory. Are you ready to take the first step? No, I'm not. No. No! I don't like looking at this weird stuff. Creepy stuff. Freaks me out. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. If you guys want to see what else happened after that, make sure you go check out the original videos. That was freaking creepy.
Welcome to Game Theory, where, let's be honest with ourselves, Bowsette would not be hot. She'd look like this. Hate to
Well, speak for yourself, man.
burst your good girl gone bad fantasy bubble there, guys and gals. No, my friends.
Oh, she's thick. She's thick.
Let me shoot straight with ya. Waluigiette is where it's at.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me catch you up. In the trailer for New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, a name that would make Street Fighter proud, we get to see this nifty new Mushroom Crown hybrid power-up that's able to turn Toadette into a brand new character Nintendo is calling Peachette, who, for supposedly being this brand new character,
confuses everyone. You got that right.
Looks an awful lot like Peach. She's got her own version of the floating jump that Peach has. She has the blonde hair, the pink dress. I wouldn't blame you if you thought that this was just Peach in a new costume. But if you look closer, it's clear that the two are
the eye color's different.
Characters. While the different shoes could be shrugged off as a
the eye color's different.
Simple change of footwear, the dress has structure and lacks wrinkles. Even when it's in motion, it really does appear to be just an oversized mushroom. Additionally, Peachette has gray eyes, whereas Peach has blue, which is particularly interesting since with every power-up that Mario and Luigi have ever gotten, they always maintain the same eye color.
Putting on a furry costume doesn't change your eye color.
Lastly, because no Mario episode would be complete without arbitrary pixel measurements, I did run the numbers, and Peachette is indeed shorter than Peach's canon height. Anyways, I think we can safely rule out Peachette as a mere palette swap and
what is she then, a human version of Toad? Maybe.
Confidently say that she's her own separate, but obviously related character within the Mushroom Kingdom. But before we begin begin to celebrate the arrival of an extremely unexpected new character to the Marioverse, we should probably take a moment to assess the implications of what Peachette's mere existence in canon lore means for the Mushroom Kingdom.
We should talk about Bowsette more.
Because guess what? The addition of Toadette's evolved form is game-changing from a lore perspective, and may lead to the single darkest event in Mario's overall narrative arc. So strap in, Nintendo.
Single darkest event? Someone die or something? I guess that would explain why the title says the end of Princess Peach. So you tell me they're gonna, you know, Princess Peach? I don't know if I believe that, man.
When I reveal the massive ramifications of making Peachette so close to Peach, you may just rethink any future attempts to quickly slap together some half-realized power-ups in an attempt to spice up a re-release. Let's get started. To begin, the Super Crown power-up immediately throws one huge question into focus. Is Peach actually human? Or is she instead an evolved form of Toad? It seems like an absurd prospect.
Yeah, wasn't one of the other videos that I reacted to from the game theorists talking about how Peach was like the queen of the Toads or something? Something weird like that. It was a while ago.
That Peach could somehow be nothing more than a sophisticated shiitake, more morel than man. But looking closer, there does indeed seem to be more to this mycelial mystery than first meets the eye. I mean, she was originally called Princess Toadstool after all, something that no one in their right mind ever had any reason to assume was anywhere close to being literal, until apparently today. Modern Nintendo is weird. But again...
No, but you made a video talking about how she was like the Queen of the Toads or something like that a while ago, like a year ago or something.
And that was all just a name. Is there anything in the Mario canon that could possibly link Toadstool to actual toadstools? Yes. Yes, there is. The clues were hiding in plain sight for us since the very first game.
Say what?
And we'd simply been overlooking the evidence the entire time. Way back in the original NES manual for Super Mario Bros., it's established that Peach has a father, the Mushroom King. Quote, the only one who can undo the magic spell on the Mushroom people and return them to their normal selves is the Princess Toadstool, daughter of the Mushroom King. And if you think that's just a remnant of 1980s...
So maybe, like, when they made this game originally, with the Mushroom King and all this, you know, that's how they originally intended it to be, but I guess, you know, over the course of years or whatever, they kind of changed Peach's characteristics or plot or whatever.
Mistranslation or some poorly thought out first game lore, well, think again. The manual for 1999 Super Mario Bros. Deluxe says the exact same thing.
Oh, so no, they are sticking with it.
Quote again, it is said that only the daughter of the Mushroom King, Princess Toadstool, can break the evil spell. End quote. So if Nintendo truly wanted to retcon this guy out of the story, that re-release would have been their chance to do it. So it definitely appears like he's a real entity in this universe. What's more, he also has a wife.
So did I before she took the kids and left me all alone. I am so sad.
In 1987's official Nintendo Player's Guide, we see that, quote, the Mushroom people were ruled by a good king and queen. And what's more, despite them never once appearing in any
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember ever seeing a Mushroom King and Queen
game ever, we do get a chance to see them. A second release in 1987, How to Win at Super Mario Bros., which is another book created by official Nintendo employees, revealed for the first time imagery of the Mushroom King and his wife, King and Queen Stool. Look familiar? Both of them sporting mushroom heads,
yeah,
just like
do.
their subjects, adding to the evidence that Peach started as a little baby shroomlet. And what's more, that's not her only familial connection here.
Then why does she look so different compared to everyone else? Kind of meds is she taking?
Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo, you can actually sneak a peek into Peach's castle's bedrooms. And while you might be distracted by Samus from Metroid being in the guest bedroom, or Peach's question mark hiding in the corner, yeah, that's
Yeah, what's that supposed to be? That could be some kind of stuff.
That's a theory we covered before. Link is in the iCard. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. They're not the only interesting things to see in this room. You'll also find an elderly toad woman simply named Grandma. Does the name necessarily prove that she's related? No, but she is trusted enough to be the only other person to know about Peach's secret personal item stashed over in the corner, so, you know.
personal item. So is that thing that Mario found a toy?
Regardless, we have a princess named Toadstool who has herself a fungal-headed family, which definitely starts to give some credence to the idea that she went from womb to shroom. Now, let's change directions for a minute. Instead of talking about more mushrooms, let's talk about bees. Honeybees, specifically. I'm sure most of you already have a general idea of how honeybee colonies work, with one queen bee ruling over a bunch of female workers and male drone bees. But do you know how a queen is chosen? In a beehive, female...
Yeah, I always wonder that. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know how queen bee is chosen. I'm actually really interested to find the answer.
Male workers who are selected as potential queens are taken to special cells within the hive to receive, frankly put, royal treatment. Among having personal servants do everything they could want, the nurse bees feed them huge amounts of royal jelly, a substance that's chock full of nutrients that allow the selected few to grow into the new queen. The queen then matures and rules and reproduces until she grows old or abandons the hive, at which point the process repeats. Now, why would I digress and
Okay, wait, I'm still confused. I gotta go back and hear that again.
Do you know how a queen is chosen? In a beehive, female workers who are selected as potential queens are taken to special cells within the...
So you said female workers who are selected as potential queens. So they just randomly select female workers? You act as if it's just one female worker. So do they just choose one? Or do they choose multiple? Because if they choose multiple, there should be like a battle or something, right? To see who's the best one, right? Like, or do all of them become queens and they all go off and do their own thing? I don't know.
Hive to receive, frankly put, royal treatment. Among having personal servants do everything they could want, the nurse bees feed them huge amounts of royal jelly, a substance that's chock full of nutrients that allow the selected few to grow into the new queen. The queen then...
Selected few to grow to the new queen. You can't have a few of them go to be one person, right? So how do you decide who wins?
Matures and rules and reproduces until she grows old or abandons the...
So I still don't even have the answer. Because it sounds as if you have a bunch of them that could be the queen, and they're all fed the royal jelly, and then somehow one of them becomes a queen. How does that make sense? What happens to the other ones, right? I don't know.
Hive, at which point the process repeats. Now, why would I digress and tell you about...
I don't know.
...B plot? Well, think about it. The Mushroom King literally disappears from the Mario canon after a last hurrah in a coloring book from the 80s. Being the only royalty left, Peach is, without question, the acting queen in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Not much of a queen when you're always being kidnapped.
Notice how in Super Mario RPG we see the throne room and there's only one chair and it is specifically hers? Sure, she might be referring to herself as princess, but for all intents and purposes, she is the queen. This is important because toads are servants to Princess Peach. It's confirmed in the Super Mario Bros. Manual and reaffirmed pretty much every other time the toad's role is clarified in the lore.
Yeah, this is what I mean before. I think you said before that she's like the queen of the toads or something like that.
They are literally the worker and drone bees of the Mushroom Kingdom hive, serving their female ruler, the Queen Peach. It's also worth remembering that according to Koichi Hayashida,
you get some crazy background music going on, Matt.
Toads are genderless and merely express the characteristics of gender. So really, there could be any number of drone or worker toads and we could be none the wiser. Now, what has the Super Crown shown us? That a normal worker toadette can be fed...
Oh, could be fed it and then turned into the queen. So kind of like the bees. Okay, I get it. Are you telling me this whole time this was based off of bees?
A special item and become just like the queen. The Super Crown is quite literally the royal jelly of the Mushroom Kingdom, taking a normal worker and transforming them into ruler of the colony. Now,
but it still doesn't look like Peach. Like the eye color is different, so...
I can understand some skepticism here. Taking the leap from fungus to bee isn't the most obvious connection, but it is worth pointing out that most fungi are closer to being an animal than they are a plant.
Just like how my wife is closer to coming back to me than marrying her new boyfriend.
Look at a cladogram, which is a branching diagram showing the relationship between species, and you can instantly see that fungi are grouped closer to us than they are to plants or bacteria. I mean, after all, mushroom cells are given most of their structure by the fibrous substance known as chitin, the very same sorts of chitin found in the exoskeletons of insects. No, of course, I'm not saying that the denizens of the Mushroom Kingdom are insects. Not only would that be terrifying, but it would make less sense than the whole Peach is a mushroom thing.
Would it make less sense? I mean, you just compared, you know, Peach to a mushroom to a bee. It's not far-fetched at all at this point.
Even the changes in eye color support the idea of a Toadette to Peachette to Peach maturation process. When babies are born, especially fair-skinned ones like Peach, they have light-colored eyes because they have very little melanin, a type of pigment that gives color to the eyes, skin, and hair. But after birth, light stimulates the production of melanin, which is why the eye color may darken or change over time. True story, when Ollie was born, he had gray-blue eyes.
Oh, is that Matt's kid? Because I know Matt's a father. Papa Matt, we call him. We call him Papa Matt around here.
Which have now become brown as his melanin has increased over the last 3 months. Now look at Peachette. Like I mentioned before, she has gray eyes.
Oh, so then after a few months or whatever, they'll turn blue? I don't know.
Clearly differentiating her from Peach's blue eyes. But what if that's just because she's an early form of Peach? I mean, she did just change over. Give it a year, or in Peach's case a few decades, and that mature blue color will shine right on through. That's right. What if Peachette is merely an immature form of a Peach?
That's just so freaking weird. That's just so weird. That's just like blows my mind. It's just so bizarre. But then again, Peach isn't wearing this crown, this hat thingy, right? So if this Peach here, or this version, takes this crown off, would she then go back to being the little toad or whatever? If that's true, then this can't be related because her crown isn't this. So she isn't using a power-up or whatever. That's something there for you, Matt.
A young queen freshly groomed and ready to start her rule, only to grow taller and have her eyes change color as she continues to develop over the years. The evidence, quite frankly, is there. But why now? Why?
Well, just go after the hat idea. If she takes off that crown with the upgraded crown, whatever the freak you want to call it. If she takes that off, does she revert back to being a toad? If that's the case, then Peach can't be one just because her crown isn't that upgraded thing. I don't know words.
Why would Nintendo keep this absolutely massive lore reveal quiet until this particular Nintendo Direct? Well, remember what I said earlier. Queen bees aren't constantly being groomed. It only happens when the hive feels as though the current queen is getting old, or dying, or simply isn't around anymore, and they want—
Oh, so you think the actual Peach is dying? That's why you titled it The End of Princess Peach? Oh, it all makes sense.
Want to override the current queen with a new one.
It all makes sense.
And it's that last reason that stands out. How many times has our princess been in another castle? Or out playing tennis, or on the moon rejecting the advances of fertile males? I would venture to say that for all the kidnappings and spin-off titles, the Mushroom Kingdom might be feeling a bit neglected.
You're exactly what I was saying earlier.
A bit barren, if you will. After decades of Peach being away from the hive, the natural response would be to begin the grooming process and make room for a new queen. I mean, it's not like they didn't give Peach a chance, right? Toadette didn't officially arrive until 2003. That is plenty of grace time for Peach to get her act together. But alas, she never did. And along the way, Toadette has popped up more, and more, and more, gradually making her presence known to the kingdom until the day that she would finally—
I don't know, looks like Matt's building up a case for himself. I just still want to know about the crown theory that I have, that if she takes that off, would she revert back down to being a Toadette? If that's the case, then Peach isn't a Toadette, or wasn't one originally, because her crown isn't the upgraded one that'll make her the queen or whatever.
Come, the day that she would finally transcend her worker toad form, take the super crown, and become the queen bee that the Mushroom Kingdom deserves. But in order to do it, one thing stands in her way: Princess Peach. Remember all that talk about the grooming of the queen bee? Well, there was one teensy-weensy part that I left out.
The part that I was asking about, of you have multiple ones, how do you choose the actual one? Is that the part you left out? Because I still question that.
Once the first virgin queen emerges from her royal cell, she begins to communicate with the other queen candidates through a process called piping, where she makes a sound called tooting. Yes, tooting like a fart. It's a signal
Frickin' nature's weird.
to say that this new queen is ready to fight for the honor of being the one and only to sit atop the waxy throne. The rival queens answer back with a sound that's known as quacking. When the Virgin Queen hears the quacking, the queen goes to every one of the quacking sister cells and kills them. Because in the game of hide,
what? This just took a whole nother turn.
you win or you die after being tooted at. To truly rise to the top of the kingdom, Peachette is gonna start tooting and have to put an end to the reigning queen. Get me right, ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of Peachette could mean the death of Princess Peach. No extra lives this time. That's why there's only one Peach, and that's why it's been so long until Nintendo revealed this. The Hive is
So they have to fight? So they have to fight each other and the one that comes out wins, basically? That makes sense. And that would explain the question I had earlier of who chooses the winner, or how the winner's chosen.
ready for a new queen. Super crowns are being produced and Toadettes are being groomed for the throne, consuming its power, growing into Peachettes, and eventually hoping to be the last one standing so they can mature into a fully grown Peach. The worst part of this whole ordeal is that when Peach does eventually return to the kingdom, when she's finally rescued by Mario, she'll likely be killed by her own underlings. Your days of being chased by
I can't wait for that Nintendo game. Could you imagine? That's so unlike Nintendo.
and leisurely kidnappings across various galaxies have finally caught up to you, Peach. The deceptively cold, murderous eyes of Peachette will be the last thing you see before being eaten alive by tiny mushroom men. All hail Peachette! Long may she reign, the queen that the Mushroom Kingdom deserves. But hey, that's just a theory.
I think it's a good theory. I do think it's a little bit far-fetched, but then again, there's a lot of stuff in here that makes it believable. But still, I want to know, what happens if you were to take off the upgraded crown, whatever it's freaking called? Would Peach then go back to being a Toadette? And if that's the case, then, as I've said a few times now, then the actual Peach can't be one, because she doesn't wear the upgraded crown, she just wears a normal crown. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. This is awesome. Matt does have some really strong points here to back up his argument. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you guys like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you do, subscribe to our family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to the Game Theorist, the link's in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Boop.